You're now listening to Sound Talent Media. Check out more shows at soundtalentmedia.com.
Well, I don't know. Everyone has a podcast now.
Well, not really. What is true is that, according to Nielsen statistics, 55% of the U.S. population, that's over 155 million people, have listened to a podcast, and 24% of the population, that's 68 million people, listen to podcasts weekly. And these numbers continue to trend upward.
What's also true is that over 75% of all podcasts fade away after the first few episodes. It could be for a variety of reasons: lack of strong concept, poor production value, people not realizing how much time needs to be dedicated to it, or simply just not knowing how to get the word out about podcasts. That's where WeKnowPodcasting.com comes in.
At WeKnowPodcasting.com, we have a combined 25 years of podcast experience, and we can help you achieve your podcasting goals. Whether you need help starting a new podcast or want to take your currently active podcast to the next level, we got you. From consultations to concept development, from theme music to editing, promotion, animation, graphics, you name it, and we're here to help.
Don't become another failed podcast statistic. Let us guide you and help your show become a success. Check out the website at WeKnowPodcasting.com, and even if you're on the fence, don't hesitate to reach out. We're friendly guys, we're passionate about pods, and we're here to help.
This week's guest is Paul Menotiades, who joins us to discuss the short-lived success of EMF. What does EMF stand for? Well, in reference to this episode, we hope you'll say entertaining motherfuckers. Could EMF have been the sound of the 90s if Nirvana never happened? We'll never know, but a world without Nirvana is pretty unbelievable. Oh!
You say your pop-pros just give you away the things you say. You're unbelievable. One hit is all you need to make the money guaranteed, and you can live off royalties forever. And it makes me wonder, is it just a wonder, or is it one hit thunder?
All right, so I feel like a good way to start this episode is if everybody can give us your best. Oh!
Oh!
That's going to be so loud when you're editing. Oh!
Hopefully the limiter caught it.
I'll just put them all at once so it sounds like we harmonized them.
Okay, nice. We've talked about songs being jarring and grabbing your attention. What grabs your attention more than, oh! What the fuck? Yeah. Oh, dude, let's get right into it.
Yeah.
So apparently, all these years of hearing, you're unbelievable. Oh! I always just heard like, bow, bow, bow.
Yeah, like a record scratch DJ thing.
Something.
Yeah.
But it's actually a member of the Black Panther Party saying, what the fuck?
Is it? Well, I knew it was saying what the fuck, but what about the Black Panther Party?
It's just a recording of a Black Panther Party member shouting it at like a meeting that they grabbed the sample from. So EMF pulled some wild samples and it got them in trouble.
Where does Andrew Dice Clay come into the picture?
So Andrew Dice Clay, which the funniest thing to me is that when I did the research, it was like the O comes from Andrew Dice Clay in his movie Adventures of Ford Fairlane. I'm like, oh, you had to pull it from specifically the movie, not just like every second of his
anything else he does. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his whole thing. And I got to tell both of you guys, because both of you guys texted me about this song, and Paul's like, I can't wait to talk about English motherfuckers. And then Matt texts me and says like, yeah, ecstasy motherfuckers. And you guys are both wrong because it's Epsom Mad Funkers.
Listen.
Which was the name of the fan club for New Order.
Yeah, listen. They can say that that's what it stands for, but then when they release a song where the chorus is E is for ecstasy, M is for motherfucker, they're clearly saying that their band stands for ecstasy, motherfucker.
Fair enough. That's a pretty good indication, but I never heard of either of those. Yeah, that's crazy.
So
where did all of this come from?
Hold on a second. Back it up a little bit. This song is from what year?
90?
90. Did ecstasy exist in 1990? I felt like that was like later in the 90s when people started doing ecstasy, but I guess probably.
Maybe here, but you have to remember this is an English group that was part of an alternative dance rave scene.
Techno-ish scene. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they were ahead of the curve on the ecstasy
On
scene.
the ecstasy train, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I would assume so.
Could you imagine how cool it would be to take some ecstasy and listen to EMF Unbelievable on repeat?
Man. Yeah. Just about everything's
I
cool
kind of want to
on it.
do that tonight.
You'd just be screaming, oh, and I'd be in the room going, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. And then boom, you got yourself a sample.
You know what? I've never done ecstasy. I've just never been around it, but everything I get described as like everything feels so good, and I imagine someone come up and touching me,
Yes.
and just going,
But yeah, they sampled, their stuff was very sample heavy, and it got them in trouble. They had to, on future pressings of this album, they had to change a song because Yoko Ono sued them because it was audio of Mark Davis Chapman like talking about what he was planning to do.
"Jeez,
Whoa.
So she was like, yo, buddy,
Yeah, yeah.
could you not put that on your album?
Yeah.
dude, I hate the fact that I know the name Mark David Chapman.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
I hate that. The guy became famous for just killing John Lennon and calling the cops like, hey, I just killed John Lennon. I'm going to sit on the curb now.
And then Mindless Self-Indulgence wrote a song about it.
Yeah. I bet it's real good.
They were probably on some ecstasy motherfuckers when they wrote it.
Yeah. Yeah. So for years, English Motherfuckers was the name of this band for me.
Hey, I had the cassette single of this song as a little kid.
Yeah.
So
I had it on CD.
Yeah,
As
nice.
a kid. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, what did we like so much about this song?
would love it.
I mean, I guess I
Hey,
still like it.
Can I ask you, like, I don't know, maybe this is like wrong. This is unfair for sure. But like, isn't like 21 Pilots kind of like that or something?
I mean,
it's coming back around. These things.
It's coming
you
back
know?
around. And also, like, when I was looking at what songs were on the charts, one of the other songs that was really high on the charts at this time was Jesus Jones, Right Here, Right Now.
Yeah.
And I feel like these two songs and
For
bands
sure.
are super interchangeable
For
in
sure.
my brain.
For sure.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, definitely.
I would have thought that was the same
yeah.
band. maybe.
Yeah. You could, mash that up.
To this song's credit, it has the O that we
Yeah.
love. You're unbelievable. That's catchy.
I'd even say the Things You Say part is really catchy.
Yes, it is, dude.
like-
the pre-chorus
The pre-chorus is good.
fire.
Dude, the verse is good. You burden me with your questions. You'd have me tell no lies. You're always asking what it's all about. So listen to my replies.
Yeah.
You say to me, I don't talk enough, but when I do, I'm a fool.
Yeah, I cannot, dude. When the things
You say.
dude,
Yeah.
I mean, like undeniable.
The leads, the guitar leads are sick.
Yeah,
They're good.
They're good, and it's like a dirty, roomy drum sound with a nice low fat piano. I mean, like there's very few elements. It's great.
I have to wonder because this is like, it's one of those things where you have to look back now and you're like, okay, this is 1990. Little did EMF know that like in a year Smells Like Teen Spirit was going to happen and like change radio. But like if Nirvana didn't happen, would this be like the sound of 90s rock that people remember as like this weird like techno heavy sample or craziness?
Or would it have just become a monster? Yeah.
Yeah, like it could have been
itself.
the biggest. Like this could have been when people think of like, oh yeah, the sound of the '90s grunge. There's another alternative reality where it could have been like, you know, that Manchester alternative dance scene that dominated the '90s.
There is that. I want to live in that branch for a little while.
Yeah. At that diversion, man, imagine going back in time and like making sure Nirvana didn't get signed and see what would have happened. What would have happened? Because 1990, think about this. It's Ice Ice Baby and You Can't Touch This. And EMF. And whoa, where was stuff going if Nirvana didn't come along?
Let's hold on a second. We'll just look real quick. When this topped the charts, this was the number one song in America. Shockingly, July 20th, 1991. So like they pulled that off post Smells Like Teen Spirit, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
But also on the charts, Jesus Jones, Right Here, Right Now. Then you got Everything I Do for You by Bryan Adams, which isn't
from movie soundtrack song.
Yes.
But I Want to Sex You Up by Color Me Bad and Summertime by DJ Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince.
Great jam.
I could have dealt with another 3 or 4 years of that dominating the radio.
Right.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. It's funny. I don't think of this song as it is. Don't get me wrong, but for some reason I never think of this song as like rock. I think of it as like rave or pop or something. Or I think of it more of as like a pop song, but it rocks.
Yeah.
It definitely rocks.
Yeah.
But were these guys playing instruments?
It was a band with a DJ.
Okay.
Yeah, DJ.
It was
Milf.
nu metal.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe we would have just gotten nu metal.
Yeah, it would have happened sooner.
if Nirvana didn't ever. coming
this
up.
is Fred Durst's biggest influence, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
One thing that I think is pretty crazy that I don't remember these, but Kraft crumbles.
Yes,
used-
I saw those commercials.
You did.
And I was like, man, that really cheapens it for me. Like, man,
They're
that's killer.
crumbelievable.
They are.
EMF didn't give a fuck.
No.
No.
They're getting paid from that.
VH1 said it's number 31 on the greatest one-hit wonders chart. They're legit one-hit wonders.
What shocked me was that they did have another song that hit 18 on the charts, but then enough of everything else I read was like they're on one-hit wonder lists.
Yeah,
like, I've
that
never heard
doesn't
this
count.
song Lies in my entire life.
Right, yeah.
Whatever it is, it somehow hit it on the charts, but I would be hard pressed to be
Yeah,
able to tell you a
yeah.
single lyric from it.
Man, I got to check out the video again. I didn't watch it before.
No, neither did I, but I kind of remember it just being like colorful.
Yeah.
Right? It was just like
The only thing I
see
remember is the
black and
lead
white.
singer holding the microphone and doing the "You're Unbelievable" very monotone. That's like the image. And I don't know if it's just because that was the clip in every like infomercial CD mix where
Yeah.
they'd be like, here's the songs of the 90s, and it would just cut to him like, "You're unbelievable."
were they
Oh, I
playing
wish everyone could see that face. Yeah, dude.
were there like a band like a bassist and a drummer and stuff in this
Yeah.
video?
Their bassist
Okay.
died of an overdose.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, bummer.
Yep.
Yeah, so they had a band. They
Yeah.
had at least they had a bassist.
I didn't remember.
DJ.
I don't remember the band in the video.
Yeah.
I don't remember there being a band, but
Yeah.
I guess
I guess I can see it now, like the instruments for those guitar shots.
I
you
feel
know.
like this song, if you were seeing EMF live and there wasn't a band and a guitarist playing that guitar riff live, I feel like the song's way less exciting.
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
that full sound.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get that from a DJ with
Right.
samples.
Right.
yeah, I
And
guess
there's got to be a dude rocking a keyboard or piano.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. I bet there was like 6 members of this band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably pretty extensive.
Yeah, the English motherfuckers, as Paul liked to call them.
Yep.
Epsom Mad Funkers, of course.
From what is it? That's a reference to what? You
The
said it's
New
from some.
Order fan club.
Oh, I like my name better.
Yeah.
7 members. 7 members of the
Seven
band.
members.
Yeah, vocals / guitar. Then there was the turntable / programming, guitar / keyboards, bass, drummer, a second keyboardist who did samples, and then a second drummer. And that's
Okay.
as the current members. That's not mixing in
second
former
drummer.
So 2 drummers
Yeah.
to get
Wow.
that full live sound.
Yeah.
Who? Okay, we need to know. This needs to be a household name. What's the name of the guy singing this song?
James Atkin.
Okay.
James Adkin. Okay.
Isn't that somebody else's name?
You're thinking of Jim Adkins.
Yeah, I am.
what
I
is-
am thinking of Jim.
Are you thinking of Rowan?
Rowan Atkinson. It'd be awesome if Jim Adkins was actually the singer of EMF. We just uncovered that mystery. But no, that's cool. We should all know his name. That's important.
Yeah.
You definitely hear the British come out in
Yeah.
the delivery of these vocals. I feel like a lot of times there were American singers that for some reason sang with a British accent, aka Billy Joe.
Yeah.
And then you have English singers who I would have never been able to tell that they were British at all. But this definitely has
Yeah.
the British sound to it. And I imagine that if you were in England in 1990, this was just everywhere.
Yeah.
Just playing everywhere. This is what I imagine. I imagine it was one big EMF video.
I think it was like number 3 in.
It did, but I think that the scene that it came from was actually a massive music movement for a little bit in the UK versus
UK, right.
like here at like whatever. Yeah,
Right,
it
but
topped at 3 in
3.
the UK.
Okay, so but it was 1 here. I mean, yeah, it's pretty nuts. But you're right. It's probably like that and more. Right. In the UK in that scene. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in the UK they had 8 songs of theirs that were top
Oh,
40
wow.
hits.
Okay.
Including a cover of I'm a Believer sung by 2 comedians.
What?
They provided the backup music for it. EMF, man, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this song incorporates everything. Okay, incorporates rock. You have the DJ element. I feel like it's funky kind of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You get a funk
That
vibe?
like bow down down. Yeah, I can hear like a little bit of a funkiness in there.
Yeah.
That guitar lead's pretty funky.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's
you're right.
It's a real amalgamation of styles.
It's like more bluesy to me than funky or something like that. I don't know. It's weird because like I don't know if you noticed this, but like I don't know. Do you play an instrument?
I pretend that I know how to play guitar,
All right,
but,
cool.
but
So
enough to understand where you're going.
Pretend that, yeah. They're like constantly switching between major and minor, like the whole time. I'm telling you the whole time. Not like, okay, here's the verse and then the chorus is major. And I say major minor, I mean like the blues distinction. Like it's still major, but it's just like bluesed out, like blue notes. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, yeah.
But it essentially plays with that relationship, and it's in and out the whole time. So that's hard to do and make it not muddy and weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
No,
works.
because that is a very like when you hear a major sound versus a minor sound, it is a very jarringly different tone. So to like
to be able to do that within the like a single section, not just a whole song.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. It is weird. Listen to it again with that in mind.
Wonder why they went with the Andrew Dice Clay thing. Do you guys think Andrew Dice Clay's funny? No, he's not funny whatsoever.
No, I think it's funnier to make fun of him or something. You know what I mean?
But
like,
you know what? There is one thing that Andrew Dice Clay did that I actually think is legitimately funny. Are you familiar with his album, The Day the Laughter Died?
No.
I've heard that title, but no.
He put out this album called The Day the Laughter Died. And the premise of the album was I have absolutely no material and I'm not booked at this comedy club. And I'm just going to show up and riff for an hour and record as the audience gets pissed off and leaves. And that was his album that he put out.
That's funny.
That is pretty punk.
And he's like, I don't know, like he was fine. I think he's all right in like small doses. Like when he was in like A Star Is Born as like Lady Gaga's dad, I was like, all right, that's a good casting of him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think he knows his place now.
That didn't do anything for Chris either.
Well,
he's like, nope.
Because he was in like Entourage as like he played like a parody of himself.
Of course he was
Right.
on Entourage.
Like I think he's self-aware of who
Fair
he
enough.
is.
Fair enough.
I think I guess he had a show. My buddy Johnny told me he had a show that was really good.
Okay.
On like Showtime or something.
Maybe,
where it was like, I think like you're saying, self-aware.
Yeah.
And was he just maybe playing a character?
He's always said that he was just playing a character. Like he was just like, this is my impression of douchey New York guys.
Okay. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
If he did that, you know, if that's
just like
his whole. If he was a character
Yeah.
doing that guy, then that is funny.
The number you have reached is 100.7 WMMS.
It wasn't just a radio station, it was a lifestyle.
Cleveland is a rock and roll city for sure.
Of the Buzzard, WMMS, Cleveland.
The rise and fall of one of the most iconic radio stations in America. Profiles, The Wrath of the Buzzard, PROH Files. Subscribe now wherever you get podcasts.
Hi, this is Krista Makes, host of Krista Makes a Podcast. The theme of the podcast is songwriting. Each week, my musical guest picks a defining song from their career to discuss, critique, and analyze during the show. So please join me for some fun and insight into some of the greatest songs ever written and recorded. Listen and subscribe at soundtalentmedia.com.
Selling out Madison Square Garden to be like, hickory dickory dock.
Right. Yeah. I think though that I don't know. It's funny. It's funny
Are
when
we
you
slowly
sit here.
turning Paul into
No,
a
it's funny
Dice
when
fan?
I know. Well, it's funny when you sit here and do it because we're making fun of it. Like that's the hardest I've laughed today.
I challenge you guys to make an Andrew Dice Clay joke off the top of your head. A new one.
Oh no.
On blast.
Give me a nursery rhyme.
Oh God.
man.
Baba Black Sheep.
Okay. Baba Black Sheep. Hold on. Hold on.
This is complex.
I'm trying to think, how can I make this super sexist? What's the most sexist Baba Black Sheep?
Maybe not go down this
Maybe
road.
not. Maybe not.
A different nursery rhyme?
But I just I do think
Bail on it
I mean
entirely.
for all we
All right.
know, Andrew Dice Clay to comedy is not that far off from ICP to hip hop, where it's just we're just doing the most insanely offensive, absurd thing we can possibly do, and people keep giving us money.
Right.
So why should we stop?
Right. Why would we stop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's selling out Madison Square Garden like
Doing this
multiple
shit.
nights to do nursery rhymes and about his dick.
Yeah.
And then go, oh!
Yeah.
80s comedy is a cesspool. Like, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's a sense.
Anyway, EMF.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about so As we said, they were part of the Manchester alternative music scene. This was their debut single, which is, I mean, we should all be so lucky to have a debut single that does this well.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically what ended up happening, like why, besides the Nirvana piece that clearly is a factor to count, their follow-up album and EP did like nothing. And they eventually broke up, but they've reunited 3 times
Nice.
since breaking up in 1999, which is, yeah, on par with any of the other bands that we listen to anymore.
Exactly. They're still together right now?
Probably not right this second, but yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think that they're, from what I understand, after the second album went poorly, for their third album, they're like, all right, we got to get dark. We're not going to use samples anymore. We're gonna, like, and I think they kind of tried to do like an industrial sound, and
wow,
I don't think it worked.
Yeah.
I think that this
the dude sounds like a little boy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're a party band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like I wish I'd listened to more of their stuff, but like I have a feeling that this album's probably fun.
Yeah. Their first record?
I feel like this first record with Unbelievable is probably like a really fun album.
I fucking owned it, and I don't know, you know, but
you were just listening to Unbelievable.
Exactly,
yeah.
but
does that
that's what singles were for. You realize that, right?
Yeah. There's a cowbell in this song.
Oh yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
another thing that's hard to do.
It's a real train wreck of a song. It's really got everything.
Yeah, it's got
the kitchen sink,
yeah.
like everything. I mean, turntables,
but also not much, right? I stand by the fact that it's just a few instruments, but there is a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
It's chaotic sounding.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
No, I think that's cool.
Few
That's something that on
instruments.
paper doesn't feel like it would work.
Yeah.
But in practice, it works really
it
well.
Clearly worked.
Took them all the way to the top.
Yeah, it did. Oh my gosh.
They climbed that chart. I think VH1 called it one of the best summer song, or Rolling Stone called it one of the best summer songs of the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a summer song of the now. I'm going to add to my playlist.
I mean, it's a good one. I mean, I was 5. But like, what was the summer of 1990 into 1991?
Yeah,
like?
okay.
Was this? Do you remember this capturing the vibe of that time?
I wonder if my older brother had bought it, and it was just like mine through inheritance.
You inherited it.
I've definitely inherited a fair amount of CDs from cousins.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's how I had Blood Sugar Sex Magic. So that's fucking great. I mean, like seriously, got it through my brother. You know,
Blood Sugar Sex Magic just changed the game for me.
Yeah.
Because dude, that Sir Psycho Sexy bass line.
I mean, the bass.
Oh,
that whole song, but that bass line is ridiculous.
I think that was my Birds and the Bees talk.
Yeah.
Sir Psycho Sexy was my like, oh, now I know what sex is.
Yeah, it's always when a lady cop pulls you over.
A lady cop pulls you over.
Yeah.
You feel her crotch is warm.
That was my Birds.
She gets wet through her uniform.
Hey, turn this into an anodized.
That was literally like one of those songs. You know, like you have those certain songs that the first second you hear it, you're like, I can never let my mom know that this song is anywhere near me.
I mean, the titles of the songs, Suck My Kiss. Holy shit, that's aggressively.
I was thinking about this while driving here, that I remember I asked for the Silverchair first Silverchair album, and my aunt wouldn't buy it for me because she was concerned about the song titles. And I remember, like, I was driving and I'm like, I remember that distinctly, but what were the song titles that would have? And then I remember there's a song called like My Suicidal Dreams and like a song called Pure Massacre. I'm like, okay, I guess if you're someone's
point.
Yeah, I guess if you're buying a CD for your 10-year-old, that might be a little off-putting.
Yeah.
Dude, Suck My Kiss. I just think how funny that'd been if that song was just Suck My Dick. Hit me, you can't hurt me. Suck my dick. That might make the song even better.
Right.
Did you ever, well, I guess you're an only child, right? So you didn't osmosis albums from
right.
Because mine was my cousin. My older cousin
Sure.
gave me, I think I said this before on the show, he was really into grunge, and then one day he decided that he only wanted to listen to rap, and he gave me all of his albums that he didn't want. So I went from having no CDs to the first CDs I had were Soundgarden, Super Unknown, all 3 major Nirvana releases, everything Green Day had put out up until that point, and like 4 Primus albums.
I mean, you're set with
it
that
was a good
lineup.
time, dude. I was like, I'm ready for the 90s now. Let's do this.
Yeah.
We were talking about Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I remember being at a summer camp in middle school, and one of the older kids had that, and the Use Your Illusions were out at that time. The Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion albums.
Yeah.
Man, I love that Red Hot Chili Peppers. First parental advisory album that I got. That and Adam Sandler, they're all going to laugh at you.
Now, there's a comedy record right there.
Yeah.
I think my first parental advisory, I think it was actually Sublime, self-titled Sublime album.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
It's not really even that explicit.
No.
No.
Because I couldn't speak Spanish, so I didn't know what he was talking about with Caress Me Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't know what he was talking about when he talked about his mushroom tip?
I had a slight theory, but I was 12, so I still wasn't sure. Man, the 90s songs were filthy.
Yeah. Cesspool.
Yeah. I'm glad. I don't think that I've ever... No, none of my bands have ever made a reference to a penis in their songs. I don't think so.
That's that's something to brag about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big name bands who can't say that.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you can't speak for me. I mean,
Did you?
Well, I'm sure. My high school band, yeah.
Yeah, you had a song?
It's possible. We had a song called Penis.
Did you?
Yeah, it's possible.
Oh,
we'll see.
There's some weird charm about the filthy high school bands.
Yeah.
Like they don't hold up, but I have some of my high school band's recordings where it's just like, we were just a bunch of idiots listening to Adam Sandler CDs and thinking we could write silly songs.
Right.
And we were bad at it.
Yeah. I mean, musically, I thought we were pretty good for, and looking back, I'm not like necessarily too ashamed of it, but the words, we didn't have shit to say.
Speaking of words, I guess I've never really thought about what Unbelievable is about.
I tried to.
You burden me with your questions. You'd have me tell no lies. You're always asking what it's all about, but don't listen to my replies. You say to me I don't talk enough, but when I do, I'm a fool. These times I've spent, I've realized I'm going to shoot
through and leave you.
The things you say.
So it's more of I'm better off with that. Like,
I don't even need
leaving
you.
I can't do anything right.
Yeah.
You're unbelievable.
Yeah.
You just, no matter what I do. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
What, is this one of those second verse, same as the first?
No,
kind of song?
It changes.
You burn me with your problems.
Oh.
But tell me more than mine. You're always so concerned with the way say.
This is where he kind of starts to sound like he's whining.
Yeah, you always have to stop. To think of us being one is more than I ever know. But this time I realize I'm going to shoot. Wow, this one does not have the rhyme scheme. That the first
doesn't.
Verse does.
No, it doesn't.
It falls apart in the second verse.
They really just let it go there.
This seems like very throwaway lyrics.
Yeah.
Honestly.
They heard the chorus, so
we got the chorus and the sample. We don't need really anything else.
This verse doesn't mean anything.
Just sing something with the British accent.
Just get real British.
Make it sound like drugs in Britain.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Drugs in the UK.
Yeah, just make it sound 1990 and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so EMF.
Where are you falling on them?
That's tough.
I can't name one other EMF song.
Right. Okay, that's what that means, but that doesn't really speak to the question because I'm with you there. This is tough.
I like yelling "oh" with you guys, and I own the cassette single, and I think it's really cool that they were saying "what the fuck" on the radio. Nobody even knew. I think that's funny and cool.
Yeah.
But if this song was on the radio or something, I might not leave it on. Now, even though I liked it at the time, I think it was kind of overdone, used in commercials. Really,
not even for it's Crumbelievable.
Yeah, right.
That didn't earn some points for you.
That's the thing. How do you rate this without your prior knowledge?
I'm going to put my vote in. I'm going with Thunder on this because I think that they took a song that lyrically is a mess.
Yes.
Musically is all over the place with some random ass samples and somehow turned it into an earworm. Yeah. And I think that that's some impressive work. The song says nothing.
Right. Yeah. I love this song. I don't know what else to say. I would leave it on the radio.
Okay.
If it came on the radio.
So you're going with Thunder?
I don't put words in his mouth.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
He loves the song.
It's like, well, slow down. How do you
Let me ask you this, Paul, and you can be fine with it.
Yeah.
Granted, we were little kids when this came out. It's not like we were making music. How does it make you feel as a person who's made music for all these years?
Yeah, no, it stings.
And perfected your craft.
That's what.
That this is what would be popular.
Yeah.
But
no,
it's good.
It stings.
But
is that how I judge this question?
No, I'm just putting it out there.
Right.
Like
you just don't.
This goofy ass song.
Yeah. It's a mess.
I'm still
like
sticking.
You said.
There's some elements that work though. They have a good pre-chorus. They do have that guitar riff after the Unbelievable is really catchy.
I don't know that we've ever written anything this catchy. this crazy,
dude. That's
catchy.
what I'm saying. I mean, like, what a gold nugget that was right there.
This feels like the song that gets a band signed.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like the song that, like, someone goes to a club and they hear the opener play this song and they're like, we need to sign this band.
Right.
The rest of the album can be trash, but we'll sell 100, like, we'll sell 1 million copies with that song's power alone.
Right.
I think, okay, the pre-chorus.
Yeah.
The things you say. The thing you say. Stop. You're unbelievable. Oh! That's good. That
He's like, don't stop.
Dude, it is good. It does have that perfect stop.
For sure.
Where you say the catchphrase.
Oh, it's the formulas.
Yeah.
Moi.
Yeah. I wouldn't have wrote this. I wouldn't have written
that's what
this.
I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't say this a lot. Yeah. Yeah, this is a thunder.
Okay. All right, cool.
This is
Man.
a thunder. I just wanted to explore.
Yeah.
I just wanted to explore it a little bit, not just go like, oh, this song's all right. It's thunder.
Nope, absolutely.
I had to give some blunders the last couple days. I had to.
We dropped a 3-way blender on something.
You
today.
did?
Yeah.
Butthole Surfers got the blender.
Got the blender. got the big B.
Yeah. I don't know. I just can't give everything a thunder. I can't like everything.
That's true. That's true.
He's not Matt Kelly.
This dude likes everything.
Right.
He likes everything ever. He'll tell you what
Sure.
Nickelback songs he likes.
Yeah.
I feel like people that just this doesn't mean Matt.
Yes.
He's
How you
informed.
remind me for
He's
the
fair
record.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, right. He's informed, whatever. But I think it's boring to not have strong opinions on things. I've had people criticize me
Yeah.
like, why does it have to be
Black or
so,
white?
so
Yeah.
extreme? Like,
Yeah.
why do you have to have? But because that's fun to me.
Yeah.
It's fun to me to have a strong opinion about that television show sucks or that one's amazing. That's the best thing I've seen in my life. That's the best. Like,
I guess the difference is like, if something's just okay, do you give it a wild thumbs up or a wild thumbs down? What about the stuff that just doesn't move you? You know what I mean?
I have the opinion, and I remember my friend said this about one of his movies that he made, but he was like, I'd rather have made the best movie you've ever seen or the worst movie that you've ever seen than the movie that you forget existed.
yes.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And same with your songs, same with your voice, your delivery, your performance.
So many one-hit wonders, and I was trying to, I don't know, there's a point I have to make here, and Paul, you might be able to help further this point, but a lot of hit songs, especially one-hit wonders, have something so strange about them, something out of the ordinary, something that like sticks out and makes you take notice.
Absolutely.
And it's not just like a great classic composition where everything is, but they're
rarely. I mean, maybe Journey or something, but like everything else you can think
almost something gimmicky about
You're saying one-hit wonders?
Yeah, a lot of hits.
Yeah.
There a lot of hit songs. There's almost something gimmicky about it. There's something that like makes you go, "Oh, that's different." Oh, what is going on there?
Yeah.
And this song is no exception.
Yeah, no, it's not. But there's a familiarity about it too, right?
Sure.
But it's like fine. It's striking that balance. Is it like you're absolutely right though? It counts more to like just make someone feel something.
Yes, you stick out in their mind. Think,
It counts more.
What are some other songs you guys think of when you think of one-hit wonders? What's the first thing that pops in your mind?
Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Yeah, that song's weird
yes,
as fuck.
and it's great.
Yeah, but it's
weird as hell.
It's so weird. It's such a weird song.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a whistle solo. It's got it's all isn't it all vocals?
It's all a cappella.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah.
It's just him making noises with his body and
it's
his
the biggest
voice.
a cappella song of all time. Yeah.
Wow.
So, okay, perfect example. What other? Any one, especially one-hit wonders. What have we done recently?
I mean, I said Gundam Style earlier when we were talking about
that
stuff like that, but
yeah, that's definitely an element of weird.
Yeah, for sure. But
we talked about the Gautier song.
Oh, so
it's
weird.
got weird all over it.
Yeah, so strange.
But the catchiness, right? I guess that's what matters with that one.
Yeah, I could think of songs that are the other way too, like Natalie Imbruglia "Torn."
Yeah,
that song's not weird at all. It's just super catchy.
Yeah, that's a really nice smooth slide guitar lead.
But I think that's where we find that
nice.
divide. You know what I mean? Like that's where it's like there's the songs where it's like, yeah, obviously Rockwell, Someone Watching Me was going to be a one-hit wonder versus like when you look at like a Dishwalla or a Natalie Imbruglia or a Macy Gray, it's like, why is this a one-hit wonder? This everything about this should have been marketable for like a decade at least.
For sure.
It's like, especially the 80s. The 80s had so many ones where it's just like Cars.
Yeah.
I'm in my car.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's just like, of course that guy's not going to have another hit.
Yeah.
Like, why would he ever?
Almost like typecasting or something.
I mean, you talked about Tommy Two-Tone.
Yeah.
What's the gimmick there? It's a phone number that's catchy to sing along to.
Right.
And
but it's clearly a gimmick.
Yeah, it's gimmicky.
It's a thing.
And there's a thing. And I don't think that ever in songwriting myself or bands, I mean, am I thinking of that like,
no,
hey, in this chorus, let's sample Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or let's do something that's so out of left field.
Like, I want to use a bazooki in this song.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, which makes me want to try something like
my brother says stuff like that to me.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, yeah, you're right. You know? But like, why don't I just think like that myself?
Yeah.
You know, why don't I think about like just pulling in random, like very crazy instruments to see how they sound? Yeah.
Sure. And something that people don't hear all the time. The music stops and someone hits a gong.
Yeah. Right.
And then you sing, you know, like,
Yeah.
or something that's just like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And you make people take notice.
Yeah.
And
Snap
sometimes
them out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. If it catches people attention, and like Matt was saying, rather either people be like, whoa, that's cool, that's awesome, or people be like, that is horrible,
The worst.
Then like, that's fine.
Yeah, didn't do anything.
Yeah,
I
no
guess
one wants to be
indifferent.
wallpaper. That's the way I always describe it. Like, no one wants to just be wallpaper.
Yeah.
I might have to think about that in
Yeah.
song. Next couple songs I write, I want to think about like what can be so different and weird and maybe obnoxious about this song.
Or what
train whistle.
What about this song is possibly weird enough to lean on?
You say weird, and I almost think that obnoxious is
it
the
the-
more appropriate thing.
Yeah.
Because this is literally, EMF Unbelievable literally has an obnoxious guy sample in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
the definition of obnoxious guy.
That is literally
Yeah.
the definition of obnoxious.
Yeah.
And that might be the key to
Yeah.
at least a one-hit wonder.
Yeah,
But
at least. Yeah. A
sometimes.
hit.
But interesting.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting to think about.
This has been One Hit Thunder. One Hit Thunder is hosted by Chris Fafalios of the bands Punchline, Pack, and Another Cheetah, and produced by Matt Kelly of Geekscape.net. Underneath me, you're hearing Here Goes Nothing off the Punchline album Major Motion Picture. Visit punchline.com for upcoming tour dates, new music, and merch. If you have any interest in podcasting, visit WeKnowPodcasting.com for how Chris and I can help make your show sound as professional as possible. Let us know your thoughts on the show by emailing us at onehitthunderpodcast@gmail.com, and make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app. Tune in next week for another episode of One Hit Thunder.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.
The number you have reached is 100.7 WMMS.
It wasn't just a radio station, it was a lifestyle.
Cleveland is a rock and roll city for sure.
Yeah! Down! The Wrath of the Buzzard. WMMS. Cleveland.
The rise and fall of one of the most iconic radio stations in America. Profiles, The Wrath of the Buzzard, PROH Files. Subscribe now wherever you get podcasts.
What's up, everybody? I am Finn McKenty, host of the Punk Rock NBA podcast, part of the Sound Talent Media Podcast Network. My podcast is all about doing what you love for a living, and every week I sit down and talk to people who have done exactly that. For example, musicians like Tommy from Between the Buried and Me, Matt from Periphery, Lil Lotus and Shinigami, among many others, photographers, artists, designers, YouTubers like Glenn Fricker and Sarah Dici, and I unpack exactly how they got to where they are today with the goal of helping you do the same. So if that sounds cool, you can listen and subscribe at soundtalentmedia.com, and I'll see you there.